Hey guys, it's Paul Jang. This is number 12 on Shopify's list for renting out your spare room. How is this as a passive income idea? I am pulling together all sorts of different business models, income streams, um, and I'm kind of putting it all together to figure out, for you and for myself, what is out there and what's the potential. And then I used to simplify businesses with just how much, you know, um, the cost in terms of time or ease or money potential, but I'm realizing it's a lot more varied than that, and your criteria changes how these items kind of square off with one another, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of parts that work well together if you're going to combine it, and how if you're going to isolate them, they're not as good. So this is renting out your spare room. It says so you have their criteria. I'm not gonna go over this, but the idea is basically you have a house, you're gonna rent it out, right? That's basically it. And so here's the criteria I started with eight. So if you've been following the series, we started with eight criteria and I've put in nine now. Mainly because of stock investing, I realized that um, there's money potential, but then there's always risk. And so if we're going to qualify that, what is the risk factor here in terms of your money if you're going to get at least your money back, right? I think that's the criteria. So like the 9 to 5 job, there's no risk. You put in money and you're going to get paid, right? Land investing, you're buying something 25 cents, 50 cents on the dollar, you have a lot of margin there, right? Of you getting your money back. So that's kind of how I followed it. I realized with stock investing, that amount should be lower, because you're playing with money, and the stock market goes up and down. I think over time, if you're going to do something with like an index fund, it'll get better. But otherwise, if you're doing something like trading, it's very risky. So renting out your room, I put here money potential is 3 out of 10, mainly because if you rent out a spare room, you'll get a couple $100, right? That's what it is, but it's not life changing money. You would have to do. You would have to get multiple buildings and start, subleasing or renting out multiple rooms for this to be anything significant. But your risk of money is pretty nil, right? You're going to get paid as soon as the person moves in. Um, your speed, it's pretty high because if you have a spare room, you could ask, for them to make the first month's rent for you right from the get go. Your time investment is, I think, 9 out of 10. You could get a referral or do Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, or some kind of Facebook group to find your person, and to rent it out. Your money investment, I think, is 10 out of 10. And this is assuming that you already have your place, your either rental or your house or residence, and you already have this. So this is assuming you already have your spot, and so in that case your money investment is zero, right? So it's for you, there's no cost. The difficult other work, I'd say, is 9 out of 10, and I only say that because I know that I didn't give it a 10, because you're now going to live with the person. So, this might be a lot lower score. For some people, that's like an absolute no. And so that lowers the scoring range, right? But I think for the most part, people are just going to keep to themselves. But at least that's what I found. Is it scalable? No, right? And maybe we should go two or even one. I won't give it a one because you can't give someone else your job, right? Unless they're okay with you getting an assistant of some sort. But with renting out your spare room, there's different models of you picking up property and then basically um, renting out those rooms, right? So if you rent a place for 1,500, and it's a four-bedroom, and you rent it out for $600-700 each, there's a sizable amount of money there, and you can keep doing that over and over again. But at that point, then these numbers change. Your time investment becomes much lower, right? Like it's gonna be you're gonna have a lot. It's gonna take a lot more time for you to do this type of business. So in terms of competitiveness, I'd say it's not very competitive. You know, everyone's always looking for affordable housing. Location specific is pretty small, a low number because you know you're living there or you're very close. You're renting out a spare room, right? So the overall score here is 66.67. I think it's really good as if it if you're doing real estate investing or you just bought a house and you're starting to rent out some of the rooms to make a couple $100. And then if you could pick up other rooms, I think you know renting those out or you know renting out your basement or something of that sort. I think there's something there, but I don't see how it's super scalable without you know you spending a lot more time to make this work. And um, you know, basically making it a business, generally Airbnb or with subleasing. Um, so that's it. If you're interested in these types of videos with passive income and income streams, I am putting it together. This criteria list, it started with 8, now it's at 9, and I'm putting together all sorts of different income streams. You can get that spreadsheet in the description below. If you are interested in land investing, it is how my wife and I were able to quit our jobs. Check that out in the description below. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.